Remember,
they're doing nothing.
Well, when you get
just talking, aren't you?
Well, see, when you get a guy like Katt Williams, then
so hold on, let's talk. I want to get into that because we've been in some conversations. This particular program that has certainly reached much farther than the sports world, and have gone into some things where I didn't have the answers to. And I'm talking obviously about us chatting with Aaron.
Yeah.
And I am a massive believer in hey, we learned about how one of the greatest football players of all time feels about things in real time. That is also journalism. Now, if you don't agree with what he's saying, that's allowed to happen. You're allowed to counter. You're allowed to yell at him. You're allowed to think whatever you want. But he's also allowed to feel how he feels,
right,
no matter how wrong you think it is. This is society. This is the way the world is. Now, obviously, some of the things he said got us into some shit. But also, Aaron's been a part of our program for a long time. That's who he is. So whenever we get into it, there's times where I feel bad. I'm like, man, okay, because there's people that get really upset about it, but I didn't know enough about the topic.
Right.
When Katt comes on your show and he starts sawing that, and Katt, we grew up in the Katt Williams era. So whenever every day I'm doing bowling, and, we sweating all over the place. Right. We respect Katt. When you're having that conversation with him, is there moments in there where you're like, damn, I have no idea what I'm supposed to say to that? Is there any of those moments? Because I have those moments sometimes where I'm like, I have no idea what the hell I am even supposed to say to that. That's way out of my world.
P-Mac.
Did you think that during that?
No.
How many? 100-some million? How many?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've done just the live, just the total show, which was 2 hours and 46 minutes and 5 seconds. We're at almost at 58 million views.
Yeah.
Totally, we're about 96 million views because we chopped it up and we had shorts. Yes, we had shorts.
Absolutely.
This is what I tell people. If you watch us or you listen to us, I'm a conversationalist.
Me too.
If you want hard hitting, that's 60 minutes. That's Dateline. That's 48 hours. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to open up the floor. I'm not going to cut the guest off. A lot of times, people that have platforms like this, they like to hear their voice. When people watch, when they turn on and they listen and they watch or they listen to Club Shay Shay, they want to hear my guest voice. So my job is to get out of the way. P-Mac, I had to make a split-second decision because when he came on, he was already on one. If you remember, he was doing this. So I already knew because he were talking, and I was like, okay, let's get him mic'd up.
How long you talked to him before?
We talked. He got there early, so that's why I lost track of time. Because normally when they said, okay, we're going at noon, okay, I get there around 11:30. CJ and I, who is the producer, any last-minute things, and I'll go and I'll say, CJ, I think I want to start here, and I want to go in this direction. He's like, okay, hey, I trust you. Do what you do. And so he gets there early, and so he's talking, and I said, okay, let's get him mic'd up. So we go 15, 20 minutes before the noon hour. So I'm thinking in my mind, damn, we started at noon. But I forgot that we started 20 minutes early. And so once he gets going, so I was like, okay, he says, so I give my introduction. Welcome to Club Shay Shay, blah, blah, blah. I tell you who he is, some of the things that he's done. And so how you doing, Katt? We toast. And now I'm about to ask my first question, and he says, I want to tell you why I came. Okay, tell me why you came. He goes 30 minutes before I ask a question. Now, I could have easily cut him off.
Ella Portier.
Yeah. I could have easily cut him off, P-Mac. But if I'd have cut him off, maybe he loses his train of thought. Maybe he doesn't get to what he got to. He goes 30. Okay, now it's my time to get in here. Okay, where you from. But a lot of the stuff he was saying, because I don't live in that world. People think because, oh, Shannon, you live in Hollywood, you must have heard, you must have been. No, bro. I got my own thing. And what somebody else has going on, ain't got ish to do with me. That ain't my life. That doesn't pay my bills. So why am I worried about what somebody else is doing? Okay, you decide, fans, listening, watching. You decide whether or not you believe him. Was it tough hearing some of the things that he was saying? Yes, because I have a personal relationship with Earthquake. I've had Steve Harvey on the show. I consider him a friend. I've had Ricky Smiley on the show. Kevin Hart, I've been to his home. So to hear some of this stuff, but it's not my place to say, Katt, you got to stop. Oh, you wrong, or that's a lie. Because I'm taking, just like when Ricky Smiley said that he was originally supposed to play the Santa Claus, I'm taking him at his word because I wouldn't know that. Nobody has ever heard that before. I'm thinking that's truth because he's on the set.
Credible source.
Yes.
Yeah,
so why would I? So if I believe if I'm to believe that someone is coming on my show and everything out of their mouth is a lie, why the hell would I have them on?
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're in an interesting game.
We are.
Hey, 58 million views though.
Oh yeah.
Almost 58 million views.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Crazy.
It's not, obviously, I'm sure there's people that watch that weren't exactly thrilled. Yeah. And there's people that listen to me talking aren't exactly thrilled. But it is a wild scene whenever you start having actual conversations as opposed to stage conversations, which I think a lot of media has always been.
Yes.
And it's like podcasting obviously has changed that. And everybody that starts a podcast says, I want to have a real conversation with people. It's like, well, when you have real conversations with people, you're going to learn
it's going to be uncomfortable.
You're going to learn real stuff from people.
Yes.
And now we're getting to do that at a much higher level, I think, because the people that are more willing to share their stories and who they are as opposed to just a set question. So it's like, it's an interesting time.
Yeah.
And boy, our shins have taken it pretty heavily.
Yeah, actually, and I have Monique on, and she's coming out throwing haymakers also, which is going to be very interesting.